Good morning.
Good morning.
It is a pleasure to talk to you again. It's been a couple
crazy,
years.
Man. Yeah.
What's it like inhabiting this character now after this many seasons?
It's pretty special, man. I was talking to somebody else about this the other day. It's just not many actors get to say that they've really been able to show this kind of an arc.
Right.
And I really grew up on this show. It's just pretty crazy that I actually have that documented, you know. And yeah, it's pretty spectacular that they keep managing to up the ante with every season we've been doing. It's been a remarkable ride for me, for sure.
And he's, I mean, at points the idea that he's a godlike character to be almost in people's minds down the road. How do you picture him?
Yeah, I mean, I think from an audience's perspective, I would say Bjorn is somebody that you can absolutely relate to in terms of he has very, you know, I'd say most characters, you know, Michael's a really great writer, so I'm sure that everybody can draw stuff from every character. But,
right.
You know, he's inherently good. You know, he does want the best, and all he really wants to do is make his father proud.
Right.
Which I think is a funny quality that a lot of people can parallel in real life. You know, is how we have this desire as humans, even as we grow up, to you know, make the ones that we looked up to proud. You know, and that's genuinely that's what drives him. And what I also love is that he's flawed. You know,
right.
Specifically in the, you know, relationship arena, he's not the best. But yeah, I mean, it's just been one of the greatest honors of my life being on this show.
And the sense of family in the show is huge. Both you know, striving to be, you know, closer to the father, but at the same time the disparity between the other aspects of the family, I guess you could say. Do you know, how do you relate to a family dynamic like this?
Oh man, you know, there was a quote. It was a great quote, which is like, I think it was Stanislavski that said that, but it's like, do you? Somebody asked him, should I draw from personal experience, and his response was, what other option do you have?
Right.
You know, so for me, I do. I mean, I draw from everything in my life and everything that I'm struggling with, you know, in my everyday life. So and currently too, not just from my past. You know,
right.
I bring up everything I possibly can to make it as real as possible. And I think to an extent, like, you know, the sibling rivalry, you know, is something that is natural and that's expected. It's just that this has just been blown so out of proportion, right?
Right.
And it's just the magnitude of this is just immense, you know.
And the idea that Ivar is so, you know, you can relate to him in a way, but at the same time he's so evil.
Yeah.
And that, you know, to imagine being part of that family, I guess, you know, is I think both what draws people into that story and repulses people from that character, maybe in a way.
Yeah, truly, he's one of my favorite characters on the show. He always has been. I knew when, and to Michael's credit, I think he's done a really good job writing that line, because you do sympathize with him,
right?
You know, so it makes it really hard to hate him. But then it gets to a point, and all the best villains in film, I think, you know, they're always righteous, right? They believe what they are doing. You can't judge those characters, right? As an actor, you can't judge your character like that, right? So, and I think Bjorn sees that too in him. Bjorn's, you know, naturally been a very compassionate Viking, you know, in a sense. Like he really does empathize with those around him, and I think that he does believe in the good of people. But the sad thing and what makes this, I think, a really exciting season is that, you know, there is a line there, and, you know, you can only give somebody so many chances to redeem themselves, and once they've clearly made that decision that that's not going to happen, or they're incapable of letting that happen, there's no turning back. And that's kind of where we've left off at season 5B, is there's no turning back, and it's become very clear that there will be no more second chances.
Right. And going into this new part of the season, I guess there's a choice being made right off the bat in the first episode, essentially.
Yeah.
Kind of finding new forces, I guess you could say, to go against him.
Yeah, it was funny. I saw we have the most amazing fans, and on Instagram sometimes they tag you in like these hilarious or really talented art pieces. But one of the memes I saw was Ivar the Boneless and Bjorn the Homeless. And that's kind of where he's at right now. Is they're kind of just very lost and confused,
right,
and angry. They are so filled with rage because they feel they've given so much, and they've given. It's so personal too. It's not like they're just fighting somebody else for land anymore. It's somebody that they've tried to help,
right,
and they tried to do everything they to include, and it's very frustrating for them. So you're definitely going to see some unlikely alliances for sure.
Right, and especially because going against Rollo and Ivar joined forces as well.
Yeah,
it's interesting to imagine where things could go on both sides, I guess.
Yeah.
What can you hint at that's coming up in the second half?
So I'll just say from my own perspective, when I read this season, it was my favorite.
Wow.
Because I thought that I mean I think it's everything that everybody's been hoping they were going to see. So it really is a clash of clans, and it's so unbelievably personal. So they can expect to see, I think, everything that they were hoping to see in this season. It was pretty, at least from what I've gathered from talking to fans, and it's the natural progression of where it has to go. And then, I mean, just to continue on that, and then it gets even crazier too. I mean, we just finished filming season 6,
right, which
is crazy. So like we're so far ahead, but just so many unbelievable deaths. You just can't believe. I mean, they really kill their darlings on this show. That's
right,
for sure.
But that's what makes people invested, is seeing, it's hard to imagine, this is the kind of people that don't make friends necessarily easily. They make enemies quicker, it seems.
Yeah.
But to see the progression where things have gone since the first season too, it feels like you guys have really, like, as an actor working with this creative team, what do you take away at the end of the day? Do you feel like it's giving you tools for other roles, I imagine, or the future, what you're doing next?
I mean, words cannot express my gratitude for this show for so many reasons. I've made friendships for life. I've learned things that actors can only hope to dream of learning in a lifetime of working as an actor, specifically because for 5 years straight I've been working every single day in front of a camera with an incredible crew who works so hard, and really talented people, and I've grown, and it's one of the great gifts I could have possibly received. So I think that everything that I do going forward, I will in some way, shape, or form be drawing from my experience on this show.
That's fantastic. Well, the last thing I want to ask is, do you have one hope for him that before it's all over, that you hope that either you get to play or that he achieves?
I hope that Bjorn achieves self-worth, that he can fully validate himself without needing it from his father, and that's a very personal one for me as well, because my dad and I off the show have a very similar kind of dynamic. We are the best of friends, but there is this also constant need for approval. So I hope for Bjorn that he finds that.
That's amazing. Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
No, thank you. I really appreciate it. Great to see you again.
You too.